Chapter minus 11.11 Boards by Frank. "Let's go," said Blizzard. "Boards!" In a flash, Ben and I had imagined our matching silver and black boards, and Minnow's blue board was under her feet. Sky looked worried. "I think I've lost the hang of it," she said. "Of course you haven't," said Jax, standing on a clear board that looked like icy glass. "Close your eyes." Sky did as she was asked, and in a flash she had a purple and green board with a pirate's skull and crossbones painted on it. The words "Pirate Queen" were emblazoned across the top of the board. "Stella!" said Sky, beaming. "You!" said Minnow with a huge grin. "Right," said Blizzard. "Here we go." As we surfed through the clouds, they felt so smooth, like a mixture of ice cream and thick steam. The sky was the deepest of blues, and the Noesis was the same white as the waves at home when they crash onto rocks. I felt such a buzz of happiness. It was so good. We reached a patch of flat, clear Noesis, and Blizzard called to us, "Stop." As we hovered in mid-air, he said, "Each time we come into the Noesis, a different person will lead. Today is Frank's turn." I felt my heart swell, but I also felt anxious in case I did something stupid. "Don't worry," said Jax, who seemed to sense my fear. "We're with you." I nodded. "We are most definitely with you," said Blizzard, "but this next bit is really important, okay?" "Yep," said Ben and Sky. Minnow and I nodded. When we were looking for Jem, we were afraid that the Noesis might lie to Sky because it was her first time and because she'd not had any training. "But you were with us," said Sky. "Yes, but not when you went off with Puff," said Blizzard. "And I know that you left the Noesis to go to Honolulu, but the whole thing could have been a setup." Sky nodded. "You tried to stop me," she said. "Yes, but if you hadn't trusted your instinct," said Blizzard, "Jem could have died. You too." Sky sighed. "I know." "Why does the Noesis have lies in it?" asked Minnow. "Can't we get rid of them?" "Not really," said Blizzard. "Lies and truth always exist together, and they're all knowledge, aren't they?" We nodded, but I felt confused. "Why does some knowledge have to be a lie, though? I hate it." "That's the nature of the universe," said Blizzard. "We're not sure why," said Jax. "What we do know is that evil loves lies," said Blizzard, "because lies are the foundation of fear and hatred, and evil finds that incredibly useful." Jax raised her eyebrows as if to say, "Ha!" "So it's our job to become very skilled at detecting lies," she said. "Then we can avoid them." Chapter minus 11 Truth and Lies by Frank. Jax looked so confident. She was definitely a skilled ice witch. "Can we know the difference between truth and lies in the Noesis?" I asked. "With a lot of practice," said Jax. "That's why we're up here." Blizzard added, "Ice witches and time wizards surf or sail through the Noesis all the time. That way they can discover things about reality, about the universe. Some people swim in the Noesis, but you have to remember it can be dangerous." Minnow shivered. "I'd hate to be fed lies by a massive mind," she said. Blizzard tousled her hair. "Never," he said. "Remember to trust yourself, but also be guided by us too, at least while you're learning." Jax held her purple staff high above her head. "Let's get going," she shouted. "Frank, lead the way." I tipped my board and shot off way faster than I meant to, but something was telling me not to waste any time, so I kept on going, slicing this way and that, and soon I was zooming down an enormous mountain of Noesis. We all were. "Woo-hoo!" I could hear from behind, but I didn't look back. I felt as if we were all being drawn towards a crisis, as if someone needed our help. I could feel it in my bones, and strangely I could smell it with my bones too, and my skin. It was the smell of a massive cry for help. At the foot of the mountain of Noesis was what looked like an icy cavern. As I approached it, an enormous voice roared, "Permission to enter denied." I stopped and waited for the others, but before they reached me, I felt a strong urge to continue. Somehow I knew the voice was lying to me. I knew that I was allowed to enter, and the voice had no power to prevent me. I forged ahead and surfed into the cavern through what looked like an icy tunnel of Noesis. As I entered, the walls of the tunnel closed all around me, and I was surrounded by darkness. I stopped still and listened with all my senses, just as Blizzard and Jax had said to do. I could hear my blood pumping madly through my body. My heart was beating so fast, I wondered if it was going to leap right out of my chest. And then I could see a boy of about 9 or 10. He was standing on a beam of light, and tears were streaming down his face. I felt so sorry for him. But before I could do anything, a huge beam of wood appeared. It looked like the boom of a sailing ship. I couldn't see a mast, but the beam of wood whooshed around towards the boy, sweeping him off his feet, knocking him to the ground. I wanted to surf over to the boy and help him, but I felt a firm hand on my shoulder. It was Blizzard, who'd surfed up next to me. "Just wait," he whispered. As we watched, the boy tried to stand up, but couldn't. He fell back to the ground, and then the vision vanished into the mist of the Noesis. I turned to Blizzard. "What does it mean?" I asked. "Who was that boy?" "Invictus?" asked Sky. "I don't think so," said Blizzard. "Why do you ask?" "You said he'd been harmed in the Noesis, and Minnow dreamed about a boy who was weeping." "It wasn't Invictus," she said firmly. "I would know if it was." "Would you?" asked Jax. Minnow frowned. "The idea of dreaming about Invictus makes me feel ill," she said, "so I think I'd know." Jax nodded. "When did you have the dream?" "A couple of nights ago," said Minnow. "It was more of a nightmare, really. I told Blizzard, but I didn't want to worry everyone else with my past history of bad dreams." Sky looked frightened. "Do you think it means anything?" she asked. "I honestly don't know," said Minnow. Blizzard tousled Minnow's hair. "Come on," he said. "Sometimes dreams are just from too much great food." "Definitely," said Jax. "Let's go back to the beach for a swim," said Blizzard. "Yes," shouted Jax. "Enough Noesis for today."